Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some new me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Changeling Tale, Jessie's Path, the alternate ending. Alright guys, let's go ahead and just jump right back into it. I think this is probably going to be the final episode of Jessie's Path, so yeah. Guys, I think after this episode we're going to be all caught up on the current build of Changeling Tale. There's plenty more content coming from the devs though, so it looks like I'm going to be covering this game for at least a couple more years on this channel, so more Changeling Tale content in the imminent future. So guys, let's just go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm sound, you're up, and let's go! Man, I love the music in this game. It's incredible. Alright.
He's here, you say?
I scanned the small crowd for a man with a monkey perched on his shoulder, but spy none. That's what he told me. Perhaps he's already boarded.
I'll ask the conductor. Surely he'd recognize such a celebrity.
Surely.
Ooh, what should I say when I meet him? Does my hair look alright?
You look stunning as ever. Just be yourself.
No, that won't do. I might end up smelling like a wet dog.
I laugh out loud. I suppose that could be both of us.
Malcolm, I jest. We'll be fine, especially you. Walter will never see our charm coming.
My heart soars, knowing she could be right. But before I can say so, a voice booms from behind us. My girl is leaving me. I suffer heartache once more.
Bulgaria!
Oh. Jessie nearly leaps into the surprised visitor's arms. You didn't think I'd let you skip town without saying goodbye. Hilton slips past Bulgaria. I didn't expect to run into anyone from Acna Craig here, but in Bulgaria's case, I'm glad we did. Me Scarlet Starlet, finally off to make it big. I'll miss you much.
You'll always be in my heart, Bulgaria. You're like a
Jessie fights back tears, and even Bulgaria starts to get choked up. It was your shoulder to lean on, Miss Jessie. Your biggest fan. I believe in you. Bulgaria swallows and tears spill out. I'm proud of you, Jessie McLeod. The two embrace, sobbing, and I notice I've welled up too. In most ways, this is her hardest goodbye. Bulgaria finally lets Jessie go, wiping his tears on his burly arm and pulling out a bar rag to blow his nose.
I promise I'll be back to visit once things have calmed down. Maybe even give a show now and again if I'm welcome.
Of course, lass. If anyone feels otherwise, they'll answer to me. Can't imagine how the rest of the town will reconcile what happened last night. It's a mess I'm glad to be leaving behind. Future shows will have a little less excitement, hopefully.
No guarantees.
Ugh, 'tis no different than a Friday night when the lads get a bit too rowdy. The stag and nanny can handle whatever be thrown about it. That may be, but you'll have to double its size to accommodate all our fans, you know, once he's famous. Aye, no doubt. But till then, what am I to do? Who's going to perform every night?
While I was at her house, I learned Miss Alana can play the bagpipes. You have a spare set, right? Imagine, you on piano, Alana playing your pipes?
Bulgaria swallows a cough. I'll be damned, does she really play?
That you wouldn't believe. That woman is gifted at blowing the pipes. Her fingering is so... Oh my god, they fucking knew what they were doing when they wrote this. Her fingering is so fast you can barely see her hands move. 'Tis a sight.
I can imagine. Both of us have turned red. I quickly changed the subject. Say, Bulgaria, is Wondrous Walter with you? Aye, he should be along soon. Went to collect his vehicle.
He's here?
Wait, his vehicle? Bulgaria scoffs. Fine new saloon. He parked it here at Strathcurrent Station so as to not jostle the suspension on the track into town. Hardly a chariot if you're too afraid to use it, you ask me. Sure enough, moments later, a long, dark motorcar pitters around the corner and pulls up. Jessie turns away and frantically runs a hand through her hair. Walter extinguishes the beast and steps out, beaming. Little nap and looks rattled. On the platform, someone points toward the duo with surprise.
Aha! There's the superstar!
Jessie whips around, already in performance mode.
Mr. Wondrous, how lovely to finally meet you. Walter, please. And you are the talented Miss Jessie. What a sensation last night. Could barely believe my eyes. Thank you. It was, not my finest performance.
Let me lower this a little bit. There we go. Okay.
I disagree. I've never seen such a beguiling show. And the finale? What a spectacle! I'd ask how you did it, but a lady never reveals her secrets, does she?
He winks and Jessie giggles.
Never.
Walter's charm continues to rub me the wrong way, but Jessie seems to be eating it up. Perhaps it's her ability to perform on cue.
People will love it. You see, I have a new production in the works, and I'd like to make your act its centerpiece.
He pauses with the showman's timing. Jessie's eyes go wide.
My singing? The main act? Yes, we'll lead with that. But then, once the audience is warmed up, wham! You become the wondrous warbling wolf woman of Craig.
Her eyes narrow.
The wondrous part is branding, you see.
Walter winks again, but this time Jessie does not giggle.
I think I'd prefer to be known for my voice, not for some bad parlor trick. Parlor trick? Don't be ridiculous! Why, Miss Jessie, your transformative talents excel far beyond the realm of parlor tricks. Men will be amazed, women will be aghast, children will squeal with glee. A wolf woman is but a curiosity, but a singing wolf woman, one as talented as you? Why, you're a marvel for the ages!
Bulgaria and I exchange glances. Walter seems to have the wrong takeaway from Jessie's performance. Jessie here is an artist, not a curiosity, Mr. Wondrous, sir.
To perform is to put yourself on display for all to see. To succeed, you cannot hold back the gifts you are given. I won't hold back. Walter, I'd love to be in your production. As a singer, a star. I know in my heart I have what it takes to be a star.
Walter's enthusiasm noticeably drops.
You're not the first to tell me as much, and you certainly won't be the last, mate. My dear, I have no place in my act for ordinary singers. Only extraordinary ones.
Night after night, she'd had a pub full of people enraptured with that extraordinary voice of hers, sir. Myself included.
A pretty voice a star does not make. It takes more.
Jessie pauses, choosing her next words carefully.
I see. It takes some stage presence. Confidence.
Of course.
Exceptional talent. It goes without saying. An established mentor with connections.
Exactly! You're a smart girl! Jessie puts her fingers to her chin pensively. Her nails still seem sharp as claws.
Or perhaps instead an unflinching will to succeed, and not letting anyone tell her otherwise will do?
Ooh. I watch as she, with slow control, forms her hand into a fist. When she opens it, black paw pads present themselves. Another roll of her fingers and the fur and claws appear. Jessie drops her hand and slowly rakes it across the polished black motor car. The rest of us cringe at the sound. Oh god, that's an awful fucking sound.
No, that kind of behavior won't get you anywhere. I would never want to hold back the gifts I've been given.
Perhaps having a business meeting as a follow-up to an explosive outburst and armed standoff was not the best idea after all. Fresh metal marks gleam across the length of Walter's precious saloon. Bulgaria looks ready to restrain the showman if necessary, but to my surprise, if Walter is angry, he doesn't show it.
Yes, well, your skills never do fail to impress, Miss McLeod. And you folk from Craig never fail to surprise me.
Be begging your pardon, but I believe that was a no to your offer, Mr. Wondrous, sir. Walter sighs.
So I gathered. In any case, my dear, I will watch your career with great interest.
Oh god, they even have the marks on the side. Good lord. With the tip of his hat to the three of us, a motion echoed by the monkey. The vaudevillian and his pet climb into the contraption, which roars to life. Walter shouts out the window of the sound of the engine.
Regret nothing, madam. Call on me should you change your mind. I long to see your career thrive.
Here goes a very strange man.
There sails away my best opportunity yet, and I sent it sailing away.
She looks wistful but not disappointed. Hey, well, you're not a circus act, lass. You're a star. Bulgaria's right. Don't dwell on it. Without the wolf act, they wouldn't have signed you on. It wasn't meant to be.
I've had enough eyes and pitchforks on me as a wolf. No more, none of that. But Walter, well, he'll regret it when I hit the big time.
No claws, no fangs, no gimmick. Just you, your voice, your style, your panache. Jessie faces me, mouth open.
Panache? Look at you with your fancy words.
There's no better description for your act, Jessie. One negotiation in and I can already see her confidence in full bloom. The power she holds is immeasurable, and her enthusiasm fills me with delight. Looks like you'll be needing to train after all. Better get tickets last before it takes off too.
Right. Thank you for seeing us off, Bulgaria. It means a lot to us.
His eyes begin to get wet again. Aye, aye, now go! This old Scotsman cannot handle goodbyes. Jessie gives him one last embrace and races over to the ticket window. "Ach, and you, my boy Malcolm. I barely got to see your handsome face before you go off again. Make sure you come back soon." He grabs me and gives me a bear hug, speaking quietly in my ear. "You're a good friend, Malcolm, when I need it. As are you, Bulgaria. I'll be back when I need good advice. It'll be soon, I'm sure. There'll be a pint waiting for you." With a wink and a doff of his cap, Bulgaria turns and heads back toward the home we're leaving behind. As I watch his shape grow smaller, I think on the last time I left town, and how my world changed. I returned and it changed again, and here I am, enlisting again for a whole new experience. Jessie is chatting with the ticket seller, getting us our freedom. The small pieces of paper that mean we can leave the land of our childhood, the land that raised us. Finally on our own, no one telling us what to do or how to live our lives.
Malcolm.
Ka! What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
I came to say goodbye, to wish you both safe travels.
This woman, this looming presence, this person who saved Jessie's life, but who also sought to take away something that Jessie held dear. She might not be happy to see you right now.
Which is why I've come only to you.
Alana looks at me conspiratorially, with her head dipped and voice low.
You've made a dangerous choice, both of you.
I shake my head, wondering what drives such pure audacity as hers. Our lives are at risk no matter where we go. Nothing will change that. We are choosing to live away from this village. Away from the threat of her own father. From the thought of her dreams being stifled. No more. We aren't running away. We are forging ahead. To my surprise, instead of pushing the point, Alana nods in agreement.
Oftentimes life gives you poor choices. You do what you must to endure. The two of you are survivors, Malcolm. Cherish that.
I nearly scoff at her words. Jessie is more than a survivor. She is a dynamo. A powerful force.
Aye, as are you, Malcolm. You have magic about you, too. If you continue to ward off danger, I've no doubt you'll both go on great things. You'll go on to do great things.
Alana looks me in the eye.
And I'm happy you'll be with her.
I hear Jessie's warm laugh over at the ticket booth. No doubt she's entertaining someone there, everywhere. Jessie possesses the voice of an angel, a heart to match. You know that. She's stronger than the forces of this mere earth. If you're ever willing to come to the city and see her perform, you'll then just see how safe and well we both shall be. Lana shakes her head with what seems to be genuine regret.
Unfortunately, my duties tie me here. Ekna Craig has me held in its grips, I would say. I shan't bother you again, Malcolm.
Thank God, I mutter to myself.
I'm proud of both of you. Please know that.
She has such an odd way of showing it, but I have to believe in her heart of hearts. Alana wants to save people. She looks off toward Jessie with a mother's pride in her eye. If only Alana would save herself first. As if reading my thoughts, she offers one final comment.
Now I'm left to watch over myself.
Take care, Alana. I bite my tongue before offering a thank you or guidance. She has so many people who care for her, but she now, more than ever, appears so alone. Oh, poor Alana. I wonder if you can get in a relationship with her. Off she walks, her skirt dragging in the clotted dirt. She lifts it slightly to shake off the debris, and I watch her black heels click away on the dirt road as she goes. Good riddance, I think. But I still hold on to a knot in my stomach. One Alana has tied, and I've no way to unravel. Whoa, wait! Oh, yep. She's Faye, yep. Oh, I think we already knew that.
Who was that you were talking to?
Jessie has returned, holding 2 tickets in her hand. Oh, a fan of yours.
Really? Why didn't you introduce me? Was it anyone we know?
She said she was too nervous to say hello. It wasn't someone I recognize. Not anymore.
So many new faces. But the girl behind the counter said she's heard me perform at the pub too. Said I sounded like Melody Maybell.
Is that a compliment?
Yes. I hope I'm even half that good.
Nope. And I believe it's about time, guys. The train whistles a final call, and we shuffle our bags onto the platform. Most everyone is already boarded. All aboard!
Malcolm, are we really doing it?
We are, and
What?
let's never think of this as being chased out of town.
But we were.
No, we were threatened, and we survived by the grace of, I hesitate to say God,
The grace of a rocky through.
by the grace of whatever force kept us alive, because I genuinely believe we are meant to be standing here right now, ready to take on a new life. We both turned to the polished coaches, at once so welcoming and intimidating.
There's so much blood pumping through my veins. We're a pair of rockets, Malcolm. Even if we crash and burn, at least we took off.
I love seeing you excited. This had made me fall in love with you.
Are you sure it wasn't my dazzling good looks?
This certainly didn't hurt.
You know what, Malcolm Campbell?
She leans in closer, ready to whisper in my ear.
I love seeing you excited, too.
My cheeks go pink, and I feel my nose twitch. Hiding my inner self is going to be harder than I thought. I reach out to take Jessie's hand in mine, pushing back all the swirling memories of today, last night, the past 5 years of my life. I'm trying to hold on to right now, this moment, the happiness.
Hold tighter. I want to save it, too.
Oh, yes! And so we embrace, as survivors, as friends, as lovers. All that we've been through and fought for brings us here now. All the doubt I've ever had about her, us, what the future held from her perspective, it's gone. Vanished. Taken away by my willingness to let go of fear. I cannot predict the future, but I know that I want to be with her. My Jessie, us, together against the world. I hold tight to Jessie McLeod, and to the promise of a better journey. We are the rockets ready to ignite. Oh, oh, God. Oh, I love happy endings. Call me a sucker.
Where the wind blew, I went. Through quiet storms and loud silence. Almost nothing made sense. Just peculiar sounds, turns of phrase, and voices that were a wee bit familiar. Never did I see all that could have been there for me. Off I flew in solitude, dreaming of what once was and perhaps could be again. I dreamt of love, but not as how I knew it, only as how it would never be again.
I really think that's Alana. Here we go, guys. Jessie McLeod, jazz singer, cabaret dancer, entertainer of the highest class. It turned out making a name for herself without a manager like Wondrous Walter wasn't such a big deal. Was much a big hurdle after all. She knew he could do this. She knew she could do this on her own, and did she ever? After an open audition at Claddy Pat's, the largest nightclub in Glasgow, Jessie landed a nightly solo show. A month later, she was headlining with her name on the neon marquee. Jessie was an immediate hit among bohemian Glaswegians. And with Glasgow under her spell, now she set her sights on lighting up London's night scene someday. Jessie's act is a magical spectacle with multiple costume changes, and lots of her original music. She's looking into hiring some backup dancers as well. We've taught ourselves a modest amount about songwriting. I've even been trying my best to learn enough on piano to accompany her when she rehearses at home. But most of all, I live for the nights I can see her perform and get hypnotized by her voice. It puts me in a dreamlike state, one even stronger than a whiskey neat. Oh God, yep, there he goes. We settled into our flat in the west end of the city, one much larger than I'd envisioned. Jessie's small stash of cash ended up being just the beginning of her income, our wealth. She's a natural in the city, eager to poke her head around corners on the hunt for new merchants, new wardrobe pieces, new restaurants. Sometimes she's out so late that I have to take myself home to get any sleep. She absorbs the world's gifts like a sponge, and wrings herself dry, soaking all those around her with the same high-spirited energy. As for me, I'm getting used to city life, though I can't say I prefer it over the country. There are days, usually when the streets overflow with commotion, when Jessie agrees we've both had enough noise. Those are the times. Those are the times we plan our trips back to our family. The train ride reminds us of the serenity that awaits, and we watch the world go by and listen for the last whistle to signal our stop. But much has changed in quiet Craig. During our first return home, we avoided eye contact with anyone but close family. But now, gone are the worries of mobs and pitchforks. Townspeople have become overly superstitious about the werewolf incident. Few speak of it, even fewer want to admit that what they saw. Gone too is Owen. Most of us are privately grateful that he chose to re-enlist. McLeod Homestead is a safer, warmer place without him. No. Jessie's sisters split their time between our family's two farms. What farm work is neglected doesn't much matter now. There's plenty of money to send home thanks to Jessie's success. True to her word, she never forgets our family and their welfare. All seems much more at ease now that their financial situation isn't so uncertain. Marion has even warmed up to the new arrangement. Pretending to Gran and Toast has given her a sense of home as well. With Marion and Grace at her side, Gran is well supported. I've apologized profusely for abandoning her, though she tells me she doesn't see it that way, especially with the friends she has in town. Of course, Grace is itching to come visit us as soon as possible. She seems excited for all the glitz and glamour and can't wait to see her sister perform. The Stag and Nanny. In Bulgaria, my beloved neon sign now hangs above the door to the Stag and Nanny. He assures the locals that the Electricity Act will get it turned on by the end of the decade. What a sight that'll be. That's not the only new feature at the Stag and Nanny either. It seems another performer was waiting quietly in the wings to take over center stage. Douglas Cranach, the town fishmonger and a firm believer in the occult, puts on quite a magic show, so we are told. Despite being only a bit older than me, he has the look of a grizzled old wizard. Magic of a tamer variety has become something of a hot topic in Krieg. It's helped spur business at the Stag and Nanny back to acceptable levels in Jessie's absence. Douglas caught a rabbit at the edge of town that pulls out of his hat nightly. Grace told everyone's favorite shows are the ones where the rabbit bites Douglas and takes off running across Bulgaria's piano and around the bar. Also, according to Grace, Marion has taken a liking to him and his antics. We all quietly, eagerly hope it turns into something more. All good things in time. Most importantly, peace has finally returned to our lives. Jessie stays calm and I steadily work away in the loft, writing a bit of a memoir. But with the werewolves and all, I'll have to pitch it as a fiction to a publisher. But I'll know the truth. I'm not looking for fame and fortune, but just for Jessie's story to be heard. Mine too. Jessie's living her dream, and I have found that the peace from stability and emotional support is more a dream than I ever knew existed. Gone are the days that I pray for survival. We thrive now. I wake to her smile, fall asleep to her heartbeat. My dream lives within appreciating every day and every moment spent together. Well, or even excitement doesn't hurt either. Oh. On Jessie's nights off, when the full moon shines, we play. My ability to transform is strengthened by her presence, but I do try it alone occasionally. And usually when I end up with my ears, what's left of them, flopping around or my tail not growing long enough. It's all fine by me. Anything that used to terrify me about changing is now what drives me to keep doing it. The warm, blood-boiling sensation in my veins, the deftness of my limbs, the sights and sounds and smells, it's all amazing. At night we run the streets, artfully dodging the seedier crowds, and head to the empty spaces we can find. Under the street lamps, we create long shadows. Far from the city, we make love. We speak openly and honestly about what the future holds. Her next dream is to romp beneath the lights of the Eiffel Tower. Mine is to dig into the sand on some beach in the South Pacific. The only secret I keep from her is how I've been squirreling away enough money to get her an amethyst ring, one that matches her eyes. I hope it will lead to marriage, but I simply want it to be a symbol of my commitment to her. On nights when we go deeply into our wine bottles, Jessie will tipsily talk about what it would be like to incorporate her secret into her act, or to start a family complete with wee werepups. These visions seem as much a wild dream as anything previous in our lives, but they also seem possible. Anything could happen, after all. What's for us? Well, we all know the rest. God damn it. I love it when a story comes together. Guys, thank you so fucking much for watching. This is Jessie's alternate ending. Man, these guys have just done so much incredible work. So I'm writing a couple storyboards for some visual novels right now. I don't want to go into too many details about what I'm doing. One of them is about one of them delves very heavily into Celtic mythology and dragons. It's basically about a man who goes to Scotland, and he meets this beautiful woman in a pub, and well, she's got a little bit of a secret. It'll definitely be one for those who like transformation. So, anyway, guys, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. And until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!